What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. You've got 4 hosts talking about 23 cards in 45 minutes. Can we do it?
Look, you already. No, what if we
Then
stop?
we
before
can't.
we
Yeah,
get
what if
to
we
the
don't
last
make it?
card?
Jay.
Come on, don't.
I just,
I believe. I believe.
Somebody do the math on how many
By saying
cards per
23
minute.
cards, you immediately
2 minutes
throw
per
out our
card.
idea
listen,
of just
then
stopping
it just means
when
we lose the
stop
game.
by
I want it
saying
to be
that.
like Jeff Probst, just being like,
Speaking
how
of the
you do
game,
it.
thanks, David. Haven't lost that one in years.
all right.
You guys talking about the rapper?
No,
Jeff Probst, the rapper.
no, the
No,
game.
the game, the rapper, or the movie with Michael
we
Douglas.
are off the rails. We haven't even started. All right.
Yeah,
Great movie.
and this is
Val
brought
Kilmer.
to you by our sponsor, the
What the
Dark
heck is
Side
that?
Chocolate Truffle Coffee.
Oh, that
Phone
sounds good.
company.
That sounds good.
All right.
It's really good. We're not really
Yeah.
sponsored. It's just good
Not
coffee.
yet.
Let's go.
All right, we lost 2 minutes already.
We got Backstabber. I ended the last video with Jay saying, give me Backstabber.
Oh, we just got another one. We just got 2 more, so
All right,
make
Perfect.
it 25.
25 cards.
Let's
all
go.
right. We got Backstabber, 3 cost, green villain, 4/3. Imperial pilot. You can play him as a pilot for 1. He's a +1/+1. When played as an upgrade, you may give an experience token to another unit.
I think the piloting on this is really high value.
Yeah.
One cost, +1/+1, and give an experience to something else. That's awesome. And then, 4/3 stat line for 3. It's not terrible. It's not great.
Yeah, it's a decent backup plan. Like this Vader sort of like small ship Vader kind of like swarm deck is taking shape, and this is so perfect for it. You play 2 1-drop ships turn 1, and then you pilot them both with like this and the other one, and you just have a ton of power swinging in. So
Yeah.
I think this is really cool.
This really is X-Wing the card
Agreed.
game now. Like I have pictures of like Vader and Backstabber and Mauler.
All your favorites. We need a soon to your
No,
fell.
I want
right?
my Dash
He was a
Rendar
big
in the
one. There you go.
YT-2400 and Miranda Doney in the K-Wing.
Well, that character
Well,
does not exist in Star Wars.
Give it
so.
anyways. All right. Interceptor Ace. We've got a 3-cost blue villain unit, 2/3 with grit, or a piloting for +2/+3, and attached unit gains grit. Jay, take it away.
Super disappointed with this card.
Are you?
Way too high of a cost as a unit for a 2/3 grit at 3. That's trash. And then 3-cost piloting is not where you want to be. I want a 2-cost piloting. I'd even just do +1/+3 for 2 costs because I don't. Yeah.
My only argument here is like there's that one ground unit that deals damage to itself when it enters play. If there's like a similar space unit in the future that you can play turn 1 that deals damage to itself and then put this on it and hit for a bunch, that could be pretty sick.
Sure.
Yeah. Or
It's really spicy if late game you have a big spaceship that has like killed stuff, and then you slide this on there, and you're like, oh, now it's at +7 because I already had damage on it.
This is 100% my kind of card because it is that. It's like that surprise factor that like, oh, whoops, now I'm doing like 12 damage to you instead of like the 4 you thought I could do.
This goes in the Ventress shell, right? This is the new Ventress that does damage to it. Does
potentially
damage to a unit.
that, like,
damage.
Yeah.
I think what Mike was sharing though, like that's part of like the Anakin excitement is like you could in theory just go crazy with the Anakin leader when you can do enough damage, but it's like the high roll, but it's still pretty good otherwise. I think this card's fine, but I agree with you. It's probably too
I hate this as a ground unit. I think it's horrible as a ground unit. As a pilot, it's more interesting, but yeah, it requires setup and is. If your opponent knows what you're doing, it's probably trash.
Clearly not. Yeah, telegraphed here.
All right, stay on target. Also, the first name of the first podcast I ever did, guys. Stay on target. All the warm and fuzzies.
Oh,
there it is.
Nice.
It's come full circle.
Anyways, stay on target. 2 costs, red tactic, attack with a vehicle unit. For this attack, it gets +2/+0 and gains. When this unit deals damage to a base, draw a card. Card is sick.
This card's sick. It's so good for aggro.
Good.
It's going to be a present. Drawing the card, like heroic sacrifice, were cool to kill your own unit to draw a card and push damage. This one just does it and it stays on the board. Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. If it's good with overwhelm units too, so you can kill something you get at least even 1 damage on their base, and you get to draw the card.
You
It's
can
pretty
fish
cool.
it out with Steal a Guerrera. Jay loves her.
You and
There you
Steal a
go.
Guerrera. Have you ever played
Yeah.
Steal a Guerrera?
Mike, you
I
don't
did
even
the
watch
other
our own
day.
videos on our channel. Gosh, dang it.
I'm genuinely curious like how
videos?
much faster this card makes Django. Like the Django red list that people are playing, like how much faster can that deck go now because of this card? It's scary.
It's a lot of pumps
Uh-huh.
potentially. Like this
I'm not
surprise
quite as
strike
high
breaking
on it
in.
as you are, but I think it's pretty good.
I mean, they were
I think
playing it
the draw card part is so nice.
correct.
Yeah.
They were already playing a card that gives it Saboteur and +2 to attack right away. So this one, they're already playing a ton of vehicles, and you get to draw a card to keep recycling. I'm like, this is just nasty.
All right. Guerrilla, Soldier, 3-cost yellow, ground unit 2/3 of Fringe, Twi'lek Trooper. Guys, we got the Twi'lek tribal deck coming together. When played, deal 3 indirect damage to a player. If a base is damaged this way, ready this unit. And guys, this surprisingly for just a generic card came a lot of
Common.
conversation about the weird things you can do with this, like choosing yourself to do
Yeah,
it and play it in ready,
bring it
which
in
seems
ready.
kind of insane. But
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think this card's pretty good, especially in Django. Like, you play this, if you claim and you play this on your first action on the second turn, you either probably kill whatever they played, or they deal damage to it, and you get to tap it with Django, or they deal the damage to their base, and then you also have a ready dude on the board. Like, I think this guy's pretty sick.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing exactly what the Elite P38 is doing. So just in cooler fashion, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you're playing against control and they don't have any units on the board, you just hit them for 3 and then can hit them for another 2.
yeah,
Like
because
right
a lot
away.
of those control decks don't even play early units sometimes. So, the
Yeah.
one thought I did have
Exactly.
is
It's a sick
playing
card.
this with Han 2 on your very first action of the game. You just drop this in. They hit their base for
Ooh.
3, and you've got a ready, 2/1,
That's cool.
and you just hit for 2 more.
Ready 2-1. Yeah, that's cool.
5 damage.
That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
At first, I was underwhelmed with the
sounds really
stats on this
fun.
Yeah.
card, but yeah, it's pretty sick.
All right.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for the
that's right.
Twi'lek
It's coming.
synergy
It's
though.
coming.
Leah's
There's
FFG.
there's a lot of
All right.
Twi'leks.
I'm also waiting for Jedi Trials named cards, because then you'll have 2 podcast names.
Yeah, there you go.
Good.
And then an unplayable card.
We got plenty of those.
Yeah.
All right.
So many. unplayables.
Not unplayable though. How about this one? Sabine.
Oh, let's go! I like that one.
It's
That's a good
beautiful.
picture.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
All right, here goes the rest of our 40 minutes.
I am gonna try. Here, I'll just do a separate podcast for everybody and tell them why I love
think
Sadine's
that's
masterpiece so
wise.
much. Good Swiss Army knife card, can do lots of cool things. It's
me
going
read the
to be
card,
targeted
Jim.
immediately
Come
by your
on.
opponents.
3 costs. Sabine's
So sorry.
masterpiece. It's a hero card. He's so excited. He can't even let me read the dang card. It's a 3/3 rebel vehicle
Not
fighter
even letting you
Spectre
read
on
the card.
attack. If you control a blue unit, heal 2 from your base. A green unit, give an experience token to a unit. A red unit, deal 1 damage to a unit or a base. Or a yellow unit, exhaust already a resource. And yes, I can't believe I had this picture of you just sitting in Canva ready to go. Like
That was convenient.
Are you wearing the same sweatshirt?
Yeah, I frequent the sweatshirt
all right,
a
Jim,
lot.
take it away.
Nice.
Just a nice little Swiss Army knife of a card. Don't worry about it. Never put it in your deck. Probably trash. It's not like crazy busted. Like you have to wait for the on attack. There's lots of cool things you can do with like ambushing it in. Don't get me wrong. It's a Spectre, so of course everyone go dust off your Hera lists and bring it back here. So the idea of having all 4 out there is really cool, but it's just the like death by 1,000 cuts kind of mantra that it's like this doing 2 of those things doesn't really matter which 2 it is. It's going to be helpful for whatever your like MO is.
So what do you?
I love this card.
Yeah, I think this card's really cool. It's even better in Twin Suns since you get to run 3 different colors,
Sweet.
which is
For
sweet.
sure.
What's Twin Suns?
Yeah. Well, Mike hates it, so
So what 2 colors do you want to run to get the best value?
I mean, giving you can give this its own experience. So for me, green is
Yeah.
like an easy
Red, green.
duh. Red green's great
hit for 5 with a 3-drop. That seems
but
pretty good.
yellow's also interesting for the sake of like readying resources. Like clearly Boba and Han are great because they can ready resources and do cool things. So this having that on there as well, you can do some fun stuff with it.
And I mean, heal 2 is not bad. I mean, that's the Star Viper, right? Is a 3/3
with
3
initiative.
cost that heals 2.
Yep.
That could potentially do an extra thing.
Yeah,
Don't even need initiative for that.
If space is popular in this set, which obviously it will be, and you're playing against an aggro space deck, you're in some kind of hero control-y, like blue-green hero thing with ECL. You ECL this into something as a 4/4 and heal 2 from your base. That seems nuts.
Yeah.
So,
Kill Falcon. Oh yeah.
Like
do that.
this card is so flexible. I think this card is awesome. I'll also like, I don't know, so like Sabine's TIE Fighter or whatever. It's just such like a cool concept, and the art's
so
awesome.
it is a
I
rare.
love this
So
card.
I mean, is this the K2SO rare of set 4? That's probably a $10 plus card. Yeah.
At least initially. I mean, it's going to be counterable. People are going to kill this early, so you might undervalue it because of that. But like in my head, if I have 2 space units, I actually pilot the other thing, because then it's really have to pick and choose your battle of what do you want to get rid of.
The other nice thing is that this card has 4 relevant traits with Rebel, Vehicle, Fighter, and Spectre.
Yeah.
Like there are cards that trigger off of all those things, and this card just kind of feels like it does everything, which is
Does it feel like it's
wild.
a non-bow with piloting because you don't want to be playing pilots, you want to be playing units so that you have units that stick for its ability to trigger?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Oh, maybe.
I'm
Maybe.
Like this in like red green Sabine already, like nasty. It's Rebel, goes right into what they're wanting to do. I love this.
All right. Can we move on?
There you go. Yep, let's go.
Oh gosh, go to Dameron. This is good. This is gonna take us forever. Okay, we got a red hero leader.
Everybody gets to say
freaking
one
Dameron.
thing about Poe.
All right, this is weird. Action 1: pay 1 exhaust. Flip this leader and attach him as an upgrade to a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it. That's right, guys. Not an epic action, just a regular action. You can flip him, and or on epic action, control 5 or more resources deployed as leader or unit. On his unit side, he's a 4/6, and he's a +2/+1 for his piloting side. And then he's got an action. You can pay 1 to attach this upgrade to a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it. Use this ability only once each round. Someone smarter than me, take it away.
So this is interesting. I'm just now realizing this because I haven't seen it. The epic action to flip him doesn't exhaust, so theoretically if you flip him and then he dies, you can still use his leader ability when
you have to exhaust
after he
him.
dies.
You have to exhaust
like
him to do that.
normally-
Wait. Yeah, they come back exhausted when they
They
die.
come back exhausted.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
Jay, bold of you to assume you're smarter than David just by immediately talking after you said that.
Oh, I wasn't listening to what he
I
was saying
respected
at all.
But I think you're right though that even if it is exhausted, you can use the epic action. Like, yeah, like if
that too. Yeah.
So like if it was on a ship and it dies on your 5 resource turn, he comes back exhausted as a leader, but you can still flip him. You just wouldn't be able to use the action ability again.
Interesting. Okay.
So
I was wondering how that worked.
I'm trying to like envision how this plays out. Like obviously in my head, I'm like lots of small ships, bring this guy out, a lot of +2/1 combos, those type of things. But it's like the game typically doesn't go long enough for you to like do this more than let's say 3 times in a game. And so it's like
that's still an extra 6
Correct.
damage?
Correct,
No,
but you're
more than
obviously like playing, like using a resource to do it. So it's like I can go very low to the ground with my deck list and have like a lot of like low cost things because I want to be using this ability. But I mean, to me, it seems way more powerful than some of the other like 1 cost leader abilities. This on its own already cool. I know we're about to talk about another card that
Also,
we'll get into a little bit more here, but.
Yeah, like aside from the cards that combo with it, it just seems like a ton of value, because you're able to get +2/+1 off of the attached upgrade or whatever it is, and then you can move it to another ship that you have and like do it again in the same turn.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is kind of sweet. So you could potentially get +4/+2 or like an extra 4 attack every turn. I'm also thinking like turn 3, like 4 resources, you play Falcon and you put Poe on the Falcon and you can hit somebody for 5 with it. Like with a ready
Seems
unit that you had. I don't know. It just seems really powerful, very aggro. Like I see this as like a real
Contester against Sabine.
yeah, like a real alternative. Which
also
which
this
That's
is a
fair.
rare,
That's fair.
but if you get this in draft, I feel like that's real good because they
Oh,
can't
that'd be
deal with
gross.
the ships as
Yeah.
easily that you're gonna deploy them on.
He also doesn't make the ship a leader unit, so
Right.
it can be killed by
Okay, yeah.
stuff that
I didn't.
says
Yeah,
non-leader
I
unit.
missed
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah. So like
It can
take
also
down
be
Power of the Dark Side.
stolen if they change a heart or a Palpatine and steal your Poe leader.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
possible.
I think they'll have to clarify that, but I think Poe would go back to your leader zone, right? Because your opponent would control the card then, and they can't.
I don't
control your
know.
leader.
I think that has been clarified like that. I think they like set one made that rule, and it was like, why'd they make that rule? And I think for things like this,
I'm not up to date
I
on
love.
all those.
I love when we get into
super
rules
niche
discussions
rule
on this
things,
show.
but-
It's why people come here.
yeah, because none of us know what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
is that our cue for go to the next card?
Eject.
Yes.
2 cost green event. Detach a pilot upgrade. Move it to the ground arena as a unit and exhaust it. Draw a card. What are you doing with this?
Putting it on Poe Dameron.
You tell me.
That's the obvious one, right?
Sure.
Like,
I
you
was trying to
flip
think
Poe
of the
and then
other
do
ones,
this.
and I'm like, most of the other ones, I don't really see a ton of good use for it. I'm sure there are if it's like, okay, I had this upgrade on it, but I want to switch to like a stronger one later. But specifically in Poe, terribly
Right.
nasty things are about to happen.
Yeah, that seems insane because you can get him out on turn 2 and
Yeah,
then follow
yeah.
it up with
You have
it.
like your A-wing out, you flip Poe onto it, you swing for 5, and then you bring Poe into the ground
Mhm.
arena
That's
right after that.
yeah.
That's
and
nasty.
draw a card.
And then you force your opponent to deal with the A-wing that you had and a 4/6.
And,
Like that's
and you still have your
That's
epic
tough to
action.
deal
So
with.
even if Poe dies, he could come back in
Right.
as a ground unit.
Right.
Correct.
Somehow
As
Poe
a
returns.
4/6 later.
And you still got 2 ejects
Yeah.
in your deck.
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
This
Yeah,
that's
this
gonna be wild.
Seems kind of insane.
Yeah. Now there are like corner cases where this is going to be helpful to stop something nasty on the other side from happening too. So it's not just yeah.
Yeah, or like lane dodge your opponent if you can get value out of your pilot by hitting your opponent with a ship that you have.
Oh,
then
and it's
going
not a
into ground.
non-leader
Yeah.
pilot either, so
Correct.
you can move one of your
Yeah, you can move
opponent's
your
leader units or pilot.
Or theirs
Mhm.
if they're playing another pilot like
Right,
leader,
right, that's
you
what
can-
I'm saying.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
what
realize
I'm
you could
saying, like,
target
if
your
they-
opponent.
yeah,
That's
deploy
Yeah.
Vader.
That's
Your
spicy.
opponent
Yeah.
This is
pilot.
nasty, whatever. I guess
That's cool.
He's still pretty big, but
Yeah.
Okay, this card seems really good.
yeah.
It's the fact that it also like exhausts it that is like worthwhile considering for
That's
some
that's really cool.
defensive maneuvers.
speaking of Poe, black 1, 2 cost, red hero space unit, 2/3 resistance vehicle fighter. While this unit is upgraded, it gets +1/+0 on attack. If you control Poe Dameron as a unit, upgrade, or leader, you may deal 1 damage to a unit.
Yeah, come on now.
Just good.
Just good.
Here's the line. Turn 1, you play black 1. Turn 2, you attach Poe to it. You attack for 5 damage
Yeah.
into base and deal 1 damage to a unit. Then you have 2 resources left over. You play
you
eject
eject it.
to move that Poe Dameron to the ground arena. Now you have a 2/3 in space. You have a 4/6 on the ground. Next turn, you re-upgrade this black 1 with the other pilot
With the
that you
other
have.
Poe.
Yeah, with the other Poe. Yeah.
Another Poe,
that we haven't talked
obviously.
about yet.
Or just anything. So there's a lot of
Yeah, this is
obviously you
wild.
don't need exactly that setup to make it happen, but if you get those cards, gross.
There's some
Nasty.
I feel like this set is introducing a lot of complexity in lines that you can be doing. And
Yes.
making the game, maybe even making the turns feel like they're a little bit longer because you're having to do all these extra
Yeah.
actions, but I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm very excited.
All right, we've got a new base, guys. 27 health.
Oh god, I don't want to talk about
Nab
this.
We
it.
probably don't even need to
Nab
talk
it,
about this.
Nabbit Village. On Ryloth, hey, we got some more Twi'lek synergy. Here we go.
Yeah, Twi'lek energy.
Hey,
Yep.
there it is.
Draw 3
Foreshadowing?
more cards in your starting hand. That's it, guys. That's the base. Moving on.
And then you put 3 from your hand on the
Yeah,
bottom.
all
of
right.
your
So you
deck.
can't take a mulligan,
And you don't get to
put
take
3
a mulligan.
cards.
Yeah, no
on the bottom of
mulligan.
your deck in any order.
So the way that I read this is like have a slightly more consistent start. If you want specific cards together,
Yeah.
because you get to see 8 cards instead of seeing 5 and then putting it back and seeing another 5. but I don't know how that really benefits you, and I don't know if it's worth 3 health, and somebody will figure it out, and it's not gonna be me. I'll tell you that much.
It's helpful if you're trying to set up like combo plays, like for now there are 2 of them, things like that, to like be able to kind of piece together like, okay, I have the pieces to assemble it. If you're just looking for the what does it mean for turn 1 play, Google hypergeometric calculator, look up 9. No, I'm serious. Like look up 9 cards. You previously had to do that with 2. But that's like what you have to do with this card to see if it's worth playing or not. Like if you're taking a 3 health hit to see if you draw those 2 cards.
Yeah, but then the time you don't draw it, it's like, well, I just spent 3 health for nothing. Yep. Or your opponent turn 1 Spark a Rebellion or Bazine and gets rid of the card that the whole thing you set up, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I just spent 3 health for nothing.
The deck building idea is you're trying to have like a 95% consistency. So if you can get your deck list to be 95% consistent with drawing 9 cards instead of 6, go for it.
You said you didn't want to talk about that, guys, just for the record.
I've already talked about this card. I'll let you guys
no glory, only results. 5 cost blue villain tactic. Steal a guerrilla, Jay. Take control of a non-leader unit.
You're telling me. I revealed this
take
card,
control
Coach.
of a non-leader unit, then defeat it.
What'd you reveal it on?
Rolling dice and taking names. So you guys are gonna check it out.
Very cool.
Seems good.
Part of that.
It's just Vanquish, but better.
Well, not always, but
typically
most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
When's it not better than Vanquish?
If it's something like the stolen AT.
Oh,
where, like,
sure.
you
Where
take
then you give it back to your
and
opponent.
then they get to play it again.
Okay, fair.
There's some other cards. There's some other cards,
edge cases, I guess.
That when
I guess like if they have bounties or whatever, then it's worse. But
yeah,
other than
bounties,
it's cool.
I'd say we've already seen like having more power of the dark sides in your deck is great for consistency. This plus a Vanquish, like it's still probably a little overcosted from what you're wanting to do, but if
I don't
tall
know
strategies,
if I say that because you're also getting the benefit of the when defeated, and your opponent's not getting the benefit of it. So like that's way higher value than.
Sure, but
it's like a meta call though, right? Like if there are cards that it can hit that are worth hitting, then this is going to be really strong. And if there aren't,
I feel like K2SO is played in a lot of decks, and being able to kill it or steal it and then defeat it so that you get the strip the card or the damage.
Yeah,
I see. That seems nice.
It's nice. And if you're playing Thrawn, then you get to get it twice.
Do we remember how Crate Dragon works? So like if you take this, do you still take the damage?
As soon as you do it, it sort of enters into that. It'll happen after the crate dies. Yep.
Got it.
Harrison Dula. Speaking of your Spectre deck, Jimbo, 2 cost blue hero. Weirdest. We've lost enough.
Synergy.
Twilight synergy. Twilight deck. All right, 2/3. Restore 1 or piloting for +2/+3. Cost 2 to pilot. Attached unit gains. Restore 1. Rebel, Twilight, Spectre, pilot.
I mean, the upgrade's cool. The stats alone aren't exciting me. Like, Kuil already has those stats and does cool card draw things. So, on the ground side, it's underwhelming. But as a pilot, that's cool.
Piloting seems pretty good because it's above curve.
I agree.
+2/+3.
Like, you could even just drop this on a Restored Arc. So, turn 2, you've got a 4/6 with Restore 2. If you're trying to go a little bit later game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That all goes into that like green blue hero control sort of thing with like Sabine's Masterpiece and all that. I feel like
I also like that like you could just play more like turn 1 plays and mostly use this one as the upgrade, but like in the pinch that you don't draw it correctly, it's just I like the flexibility there that this provides.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the Phantom 2. We've got a little theme here. So we've got a 3 cost blue hero space unit, 3/3 rebel vehicle transport, Twi'lek with grit action. I didn't know if you guys would even like do you guys even listen to me while I'm reading? All right. Action. Pay 1. If this card is a unit, attach it as an upgrade to the ghost. It's no longer a unit. Defeat all upgrades on it. Remove all damage from it. Attached unit gets +3/+3 and gains grit.
Super flavorful.
That.
Yeah.
I like that.
So what does set 1 ghost do again?
Also pretty good.
It gives shields. It gives shields on play and on attack.
Okay.
So
Is it
shielded.
Shielded?
Yeah, it is.
That's cool.
'Cause-
When we talk about the new ghost, if you have both ghosts out, all your specters come in with shields.
Oh snap!
Ooh,
that's cool.
Right.
huge.
Which we'll get
No,
to.
we're gonna
maybe
get to
later
it
if we
the
have time.
next card.
Okay, let's go faster. Go,
because
go.
I rearranged it.
Oh,
Because I'm like, how can we talk about Phantom
Dodge.
without the ghost? So 5.
Yeah, without talking about the ghost. I'm actually shocked
Yeah.
that they weren't all spoiled.
All right, so
like
the ghost
same
is a
day.
5-cost blue hero space unit, 5/6 rebel vehicle transport
What's your
Spectre, Twi'lek. Each
Twi'lek.
other friendly Spectre unit
Twi'lek.
gains this unit's keywords. While this unit is upgraded, it gains Sentinel. So you're putting the Phantom on the ghost, and all of a sudden you have Sentinel. You've got Grit,
Putting Hera on the ghost
got
too, and
all the
yeah.
things.
Grit, Sentinel, Restore 1. You got Red
Raid,
3 out, so you're
wow.
giving everything Raid 1. Like
Trash
this-
deck. Don't play it.
I
it sounds
think
really
yeah.
fun for
Yeah.
sure.
Is
Agreed.
is this card good without the extra each friendly Spectre thing? Like if 5 costs 5/6 with Sentinel.
Well, it
if it's
doesn't always have
upgraded.
Sentinel, yeah.
If it's upgraded.
Also,
I-
oh, good.
I do. Like I think if you're building your deck around this card, it's good. Like I don't if you literally don't play any specters in your deck and you don't play any pilots in your deck or upgrades, like no, you're obviously not playing this, but I do think it's worth building around.
You mentioned earlier about the other ghost getting shielded. Since it's not self-referential, it just says specifically this unit. I don't think that works. But
if that one has shielded and this one gives each other friendly specter unit this unit's keywords. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
have a
itself
shield,
gain
but-
shielded.
right.
I see. Yeah, that
Guys,
doesn't work.
hyped for nothing, Mike.
You know, sometimes
It's not
that
too late
happens.
to change the card, people. Do it. Make it happen.
Find another way to give the ghost shielded, and then it'll work.
Yep.
But also, like, if it's going to be major space themed, this card with Sentinel is going to be good just to stop space. So I think it's just a good card on its own. You don't have to go super like Voltron for it to be pretty good. So I enjoy it.
All right.
Sweet.
TIE Ambush Squadron. 4 cost green villain space unit. It's a 2/3 Imperial vehicle fighter with ambush. When played and when defeated, create a TIE fighter token. It's common.
I have no idea how I feel about this card.
Yeah, this one's weird. I think it's fine.
If it's a 4 cost, create 2 1/1s and deal 2 damage to a space unit. Is that good?
No.
No.
If you play
think
this
I'm on
with
the same
Thrawn
page.
and you get 3 TIE
Not to
fighters out of
me.
this,
Yeah, and you get 3 TIE
yeah,
fighters.
I
It's
don't know
probably
if I
still
would
not
pay
worth
4
it.
for.
I don't know. It's weird that this has ambush. Like, why? It should be a 3-2.
They want you to just
If it was a
immediately
3-2, it'd be
kill
so
it.
much better.
Totally. Just put in the Anakin upgrade and just let him bounce between all the little TIE fighters. Have a good old
okay.
time.
There you go.
You
All right.
unlocked it.
Perfect.
Next.
Keep going. Phoenix Squadron A-Wing. 2 cost
All right, let's move on.
hero 3/2 Rebel vehicle fighter. All right.
I mean, this seems good. Like,
It's good.
it's aggressive stats in space.
I don't know if I like it more than A-Wing in this.
No,
immediate
I don't
deck,
think it's better than
no.
A-Wing, but I don't think it's either or. I think you could play both.
With the amount of like daring raids we're seeing in the meta right now, it's like I don't want to play 2 health dudes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay if they're using their daring rate on this to free up something later. So
Or
Yeah,
like two pings.
true.
Like that's not hard to do.
yeah, but you're buffing that. Like
I don't
you're
know.
playing this
I
in-
play Kylo's Tide Silencer in like
Yeah.
every red villain deck. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And again,
It's
it's like
fine.
when they kill it, it's like
Right, and then-
bummer.
so
but
like
no
even
big
Django,
deal.
like the P-38s having 2 health, like they can kill an A-wing and then survive, and they can still do like crazy stuff. So like at least having some way to kill them back, because like that's the thing with A-wings is they typically don't. You have to either be aggressive and do the killing, or they probably have a unit out when you don't. So
Yeah.
right,
probably
right.
sometimes better, sometimes
Yeah.
worse, depending on
Or
the situation.
porque no los dos, right?
But yeah,
There it
See.
is. There it is.
You get it. Come on.
All right, here we go. Here's a
Love that.
legendary, guys. The
card's wild.
3 cost yellow stolen AT hauler space unit 4/5 Underworld. We haven't seen Underworld in a minute. Vehicle transport. When defeated, choose an opponent for this phase. They may play this unit from its owner's discard pile for free.
I'm so confused by this card.
This card is. I think this card's insane. Like
make it make sense.
You force your opponent to deal with a 4 or 5 in space on turn 2, and then hopefully you kill them before it matters that they take it from you. Like I don't know. I see this as just like I mean, even turn 1 with like Han 1. Like you turn 1, he gets to play a 4 or 5 in space that your opponent has to deal with. Like
if you play this on turn 1 and Han, I think that's really good. But if you play this on turn 2 and they take down, and then they just play it for free.
I mean, you got to know what deck you're playing against, right? Like maybe you don't play it in that situation, or you have a way to easily get it back or something like that. I just think the stats for the cost is like absolutely ridiculous, insane. So I have a hard time believing this card won't be interesting.
Do you play this in a deck that like you have ways you can kill it easily? Because it's a continuous recursion thing.
Right. Yeah. If they take it from you, you take it back from them.
Yeah. Like this card's going to be out and play the entire game if you play it. And so if you have ways to kill these things, you're probably okay with it.
Because
you just get it right back.
If they claim and you have some kind of answer or a way to kill it, like if you exploit it or something after they claim, it's like, okay, they don't get it. But so there is some timing issues with this card that you're going to have to be aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's also like, if you're worried about takedown, you can upgrade it. I mean, it's a little bit more risky, but you can play around things like that. And the stats are just so good. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's an Underworld. Maybe you could do some Cad Bane fun stuff with it because you're always playing it from your discard pile. So I don't know. Maybe there's some cool recursion
this
stuff.
and then still drop it for 3. So
yeah, true.
It's pretty cool.
Twin Sons, you can decide who gets to play it for free.
Yeah,
that's actually funny
fun.
because some people have to go out of the round early because you can't soft pass. So you could be like, hey, I choose the guy who took the blast token already. It's like big rip.
Yeah, this is actually good in Twin Sons.
Oh, I'm all in. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got this. We got the Sith
it's
Trooper.
Cool card.
3 cost, just villain ground unit. It's a 3/3 first order Sith Trooper. On attack, this unit gets +1/+0 for this attack for each damaged unit the defending player controls.
Have we seen anything Sith yet? Vader is Sith, I think, right?
Yeah, we've got.
There's quite a few Sith.
I feel like Count Dooku is.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Dooku, Vader, Palpatine.
I want to see
not before
Sith
Twilight
synergy, though. Coach. That's what I want.
It.
Well, no, I do want to see Sith first.
I want Sith holocron and it to do something with the Sith.
I just had like PTSD
Zero
from
cost
Destiny.
Upgrade.
You just gave me, I just have PTSD too.
I haven't heard that in a while.
I feel like trying to rely on this card to be pushing
we've
damage.
Got 6 minutes, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love this card.
I don't either. All right.
Yeah, this card's
trash.
Too easy to kill.
Yeah.
TIE Dagger Vanguard, 3 cost villain space unit, 2/2 first order Sith vehicle fighter. When played, you may deal 2 damage to a damaged unit.
I think this is okay. Yeah. Like if you have ways to ping your opponent's units, seems good.
Yeah. Phasma synergy. Let's
go.
Yeah.
Phasma. Like this seems good. So.
And it's a Sith.
Not a Twilight.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Resistance X-Wing, 2 cost hero space unit, 2/2 resistance vehicle fighter. While this unit has a pilot on it, it gets +1/+1.
It's another good like platform for Poe.
Yeah, just goes straight in a Poe deck.
It's much better if you're going first, but it's still
right.
Yeah, because otherwise, this feels pretty bad. Yeah. Just if you're not going first, that's probably dead.
Yeah, if you're not going first,
I don't know.
Trash.
I feel like it'll be great in draft. I don't think this is like Premier. Yeah.
It probably won't be played, yeah. I think that's going to be a real contention with these piloting decks. It's like getting, like, if you're playing against a piloting deck and you just remove their ship every time they play one, like, what are they going to do? They're just going to clog their hand with pilots they can't play. And I guess they play them on the ground, but then it's like most of them are below cost ground units or like below curve ground units, unless they're like some of the good ones. I don't know.
Moving on, Admiral Trench. We got a new leader, and here's another weird one. Yeah, this is
here goes the rest of our 5 minutes.
Okay. Hey, first, Jim, could you give us a lore background on Trench real quickly?
Nope.
Not even a thing.
I need you to say the subtitle
go ahead,
for Admiral.
Yeah.
I can't even read it. I'm gonna
It's
be honest.
CHK. Yeah,
Chick.
and you have to say it when you deploy him.
He he does this like weird clicking thing with his.
I hate that so
whatever.
much.
All right. Action exhaust. Discard a card that costs 3 or more from your hand. If you do, draw a card. Just a free action, guys. Just cycle your deck.
Cool.
Love that.
And
Free
then we've
little
got the
filter card.
weird thing. Action. Pay 3 and exhaust. If you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. This is not an epic action, people. So he's like a dang little insect that just keeps coming back. And when he flips, he's a 4/5 separatist
won't die.
official. When deployed, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. An opponent discards 2 of them. Draw 1 of the remaining cards and discard the other. Weird.
Seems great. I don't know. Every turn you get a 3-cost 4/5
After
that draws you a
hit
card.
6. But yeah.
Yeah. That
And it
seems
costs
good.
3.
But it's discarding these cards, so
The
you're
flip one.
running out of your hand.
Okay,
like,
you've
that
just been playing too
pretty
much
quickly.
Satine recently,
Yeah.
Jim, and you just think that's everyone. It's Sabine meta.
Don't tell the
Satine, I mean.
people.
This card's at the very least. This card is cool. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's good or
very
not,
cool.
but it's doing something very unique.
Yes.
But like 4/5 on 6, like that is slow going to get there.
But then you also get it on 7 and then 8 and then
Sure, you're
If he
building this.
dies-
as long as it dies, right?
Yeah, you're
But,
building this
yeah.
as control. But
yeah.
it's like you're running out. Like you're running out of cards so quickly. Like, can you actually beat the other control lists? And then I feel
Yeah, I
like it
don't know.
needs more.
Well, you're not-
discard synergy.
You're running out of cards in your deck, but you have more resources in your hand to do things with.
Right. But yeah, I feel like if there's more like discard pile synergy, this card immediately becomes cool. So every
True.
time there's something to do with the discard pile, I'm gonna go back to this card and say, does this crack the code?
Palp's return, baby.
Sure.
Mm.
I mean,
Hey,
that sounds
Twin
pretty cool.
Sons, play this with Afra and just mill yourself the whole game. 80 cards.
Love it.
All right.
Easy.
Go triple yellow
Invincible.
villain.
We got a lot of Dooku mains in our Discord that are very excited about
Oh,
this.
we're
Legendary.
actually continuing.
Legendary
Invincible. We
card.
got a 6-cost yellow villain space unit. 6/6 separatist vehicle capital ship. If you control a unique separatist card, this unit costs 1 less to play. And when you deploy a leader, you may return a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less to its owner's hand.
So this includes separatist leaders that are not deployed, which is cool. So if you're
Yes.
playing the Dude with Trench or Dooku, this just costs 5 and it's a 6/6 spaceship, which is
Dooku can get this
really
out on
above.
turn 2, which is disgusting.
yeah, very
Like,
above
how-
curve.
How does your opponent deal with a 6/6 ship on turn 2?
They
And
play
you
the
can
3
bounce
cost 4/5.
and you bounce whatever they played that turn.
When
No,
deploy leader.
when
you
That's the
deploy
thing. It's like
leader.
it really is
Leader.
just a
Yeah,
6/6.
you're right.
But I guess maybe it's a.
That's huge.
Is it
Yeah.
in this? I don't know. In set 4,
It's
I feel
just
like
a
everything we're
6/6.
saying. Turn 2, we got a 4/6
That's
in space.
massive.
We got a 5/4 in space. Like the power levels are just. Climbing.
If a I don't know. This card seems insane in both Dooku and Piet.
See,
Yeah.
I just think it's too slow, but we'll see.
You think this is not slow?
Obviously the like exploit to get this thing out quickly, sure. But
I mean, like Piet, you get this out on turn 5, and then you flip Piet, and you
Yep.
get to bounce something like right away.
Yep.
That's gross.
And if
Patrol
you
fighter's good,
if you're playing a separatist card, like you just play a separatist spaceship, then Piet can play it even 2.
yeah, on turn 4. Yeah, like
Yeah.
turn 1, you play any
you
separatist
go.
card, and then Piet gets
Well,
this for 4 resources. All right, I
uni-
guess
unique
for
one,
turn
but-
1 or 2. Yeah, unique one. Yeah, but those exist.
All right, guys.
You play like
Last
yeah, I don't
card.
know.
Last
That
card,
seems
and
nuts.
then we got. It's the end of our
That's crazy.
presentation. We did it. Swarming Vulture Droid. It's a 2-cost neutral 2/2 separatist droid vehicle fighter. Deck can have up to 15 copies of this card. This unit gets +1/+0 for each other friendly
Not 101.
Swarming Vulture droid. Should have
It's
been
99.
47.
Okay, that's
His
funny.
favorite number.
This is really
It's
interesting.
cool.
If you have like 5 of these out, dude, you're swinging for like a crap load of damage on all of them.
Okay,
Live the dream.
This card is really interesting with the new invisible hand, which
Oh,
is
you're
the
right.
ship
Fishes
that
out the droids.
yeah, you get
Good
to
play.
you get to search your deck or whatever, top whatever cards of your deck for a droid that costs 2 or less, and I think it's every time you
Yes. Yeah,
attack
when played
and when it
in
enters
one
play,
attack.
right? So, you know, like Dooku or Piet with that card, you're gonna be able to get so many of these vulture droids out.
And this is a neutral. Like this can be played in anything.
Mm.
Does the 7-cost U-wing reinforcement, does that have any like restrictions on it, or can you just play like 3
You can play 3 of these if you
off
want.
of
Yeah.
that?
That's funny.
Cool.
3 4-2s and
There's some old card, like what's that card from Seth? It was a legendary Pyrrhic Assault.
It'd be 5
like,
2s,
gives
right? Oh no, 4 2s.
all your units like. Yeah, something
when they
like
die,
I was
something
thinking
happens,
about some of
right?
these old cards that like just gives everything something. IG-88.
Hear me out. You play one of those new bases that really maximizes your percentage right here, and you start with 4 swarming droids in hand.
You just go droid.
All 6 of the cards that you draw for your opening hand are all swarming vulture droids.
So sick.
There's the green one that lets you play 10 more cards, so there's more room for your 15 droids.
Perfect. That's what
More
I'm doing.
room. It's not what you want to be doing, people. Please don't do that.
All right, guys.
I need there to be something broken with these guys.
We did it. We got through the presentation. Well, we got through the presentation that I created for this exact video in the time allotted. Okay.
There's 2 more cards.
So
there's 2 more cards.
Proud of us.
There's at least
that
2
were
that
that were
cover,
they posted them while we were recording. I can't.
Well, no,
it's
the
not on
CR90
Tubi.
relief
That's why.
runner and the Poe.
It's not. It doesn't have
Oh,
like
okay.
the thing of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll cover those another day.
Trash.
Sure. You guys good? Can we close this out? All right. Guys, thanks
We're
so much
good.
for
We're
watching.
good.
We got lots of content coming, so keep your eyes peeled on this channel. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.